Namaskaram. We are into the third episode of Guruvara Guru Parampara series, season 2. Today, I will be sharing my interaction with Shobna Balachandra, founder of Tarangini School, Chennai. Guru Shobna Balachandra, founder of Tarangini, Chennai, is one of the senior most disciples of the Dhananjayans. She was part of the Dhananjayans troupe for many years, honing her stage skills. As a teenager, along with her two sisters, popularly known as the Trio Sisters, Shobnaka has participated in numerous stage performances. The Trio Sisters became a regular feature in all major festivals during the late 70s and 80s. She is an empaneled artist of ICCR and has performed at South America, Iraq, Russia, UK, Germany, Sri Lanka, Denmark, South Africa, USA and Nigeria for various prestigious international forums. Shobnaka and her troupe have been performing at festivals like Shanmukhananda Festival of Mumbai, Surya Festival of Trivandrum, SICAS of Ahmedabad, Kinkini of Bangalore and many more. She is an A-grade artist of Doordarshan and her dance has been featured in various television channels in India and abroad. More than all these, she is a wonderful teacher who has trained numerous dancers who occupy notable positions in the dance horizon in every part of the world. She regularly conducts teaching workshops at many places in India and abroad. She is one of the pioneers who have understood the benefits of the digital media and has been conducting online classes for many years, much before the outbreak of the pandemic. Shobnaka, I was introduced to her by Kalanidhi Mami, initially as a teacher, but over the time, especially when I used to stay at her place, she was not just a teacher. I saw her as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, she had so many roles that she was playing. And from there, she inspired me so much that somewhere, as a teenager at that time myself, I felt this is somebody whom I would want to, aspire to be like. And with all these years of association with Shobnaka, she's taught me so much, be it not just the dance, but any doubt I have, anything in music or anything in my recording aspect or anything in my dance class, if I have to interact with a student, how to talk to her, all these things, I have to just take a call. Akka, I have a doubt, can I call you? And that's the way she is, and that shows what she is, right? I'm so happy and thankful for this this session. When I had to interview Shobnaka, and she also very readily agreed for this invitation. Thank you so much, Shobnaka, for being part of my Guruvara Guru Parampara series. Over to you now. Namaskaram, Akka.
Namaskaram, Suju. Nice to see you.
Same here. I'm so happy and thank you so much for being part of our Guruvara Guru Parampara series. Thank you so much, Akka. It really means a lot that you've accepted my invitation here.
The pleasure is mine, and I know I've been working with you for a long time, so it's really a pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, Akka, 17 years. 17 years. I was just keeping track of this. It's like I have learned so much from you all these years. I had to use this situation where I can actually tell the whole world what a personality you are. It really means a lot, Akka.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Akka. Without further delay, I would like to start with a few things that I would like to share to the whole people. Your initial training, Akka, in dance, I'm sure, because you're known as a Trio Sisters. I have known you, that is also there. So it's not you're a family of dancers and musicians. Can you tell a little about yourself, teacher, please?
Okay. Actually, the whole dancing process started when I was 6.5, I think. My mother, when she was young, she used to love dancing. And at that time, they were not allowed, family girls were not allowed to learn dancing. They said, if you learn dancing, you won't get married. So that was the taboo attached to dancing at that point of time. So my mother vowed to herself that I will have a daughter and I'll make her dance. So fortunately, she had three daughters, not just one, and she just pushed her into the dance school. But initially, I hated dancing, to be very frank. My inclination was more towards music.
Okay.
And the first day I went to class, I was forced to go to class. I hid behind a pillar and just peeped out to see what was happening. And then Shantaka just turned and said, "Ba, inge ba." I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he just smiled, such a sweet smile. And master also just turned and said, "Yaar in the kutti punne, inge ba." I mean, so reluctantly, I went like this, not wanting to go there, but I went. And for many years, I was not at all showing any interest in dance, and I just used to go because my mother was a terror and she was very dominating, and we didn't have a choice in one way or other with her. I have to go, I have to go, that's it. So I kept telling, I want to learn music, I want to learn music, I will do full time music. My inclination was definitely towards music, not towards dancing. But at one point, I don't remember, probably, yeah, a very interesting thing. There was an AAR program. I remember the name of the minister also. He was called Jagbir Singh. Okay, he had come to All India Radio Chennai, and they wanted a special program for him. That
Okay.
was, I think, during December time, when I had my very close friend and cousin visit me.
Mm.
So Shantaka called and said, "There's a small program you need to do." So my mother said, "Okay, pack, go." So I was so livid because my friend has come and my cousin is here to be have playing and then we have to dance. I got so angry, but I didn't have a choice. And my cousin left saying that I will come later. So angry and livid, I went there. I wore the costume and I was looking so grumpy and irritated. And then I did so badly. I did so badly and came home. Next day, Shantaka called me. And then she literally had tears in her eyes. She said, "I've never seen anyone being so disinterested in this art, and you have let us down badly." You know, at that point, something inside me turned, I said, "No." By the time I'd already learned for 6, 7 years, something inside me just turned, and I said, "Okay, let me make an effort." And then it was like I just left myself go, and then I just started practicing and practicing and practicing. And there's one point where I used to do two varnams one after the other, and I practiced to that level. And Akka herself was very surprised. I said, "Shobhava ipdi pandra." I mean, so that small thing from Akka really changed me. And then I don't know where, at which point I started having a passion towards this dance form. Of course, still my passion is very much towards music, but I've not had that much of training in music as much as I had in dance. And so at some point, I started performing, and then I was very interested in all that. Then even at that time, I did not think I should take it as a profession.
Okay. Teacher, Akka, you were doing, but you were also doing together with your sisters, or was it
Yes,
more of
we were
solo
doing it together.
performance?
We were Christian three sister trio sisters. We did
Okay.
our Arangetram together. We did many, many shows together as trio
Together.
sisters. We made our name
Okay.
as trio sisters only.
Okay. Ah, okay.
And then, even at that point, I was not wanting to take dancing as my profession,
Uh,
simply because my mother wanted me to. I was
right.
so well. My mother wanted me to dance, so I didn't want to dance, although
Right.
I loved
Right.
dancing.
Yeah, okay. But you are
Then
also qualified, you did a MBA also, so you did simultaneously all those things also, right? Right.
Yeah,
Huh.
because I never had any idea of taking it as a profession. I was just
True.
dancing, and
Hmm.
I said, "Let me do my MBA," and I joined MBA. I finished
Hmm.
MBA. Then I got married. When I got married, I joined KG Hospitals as PR, and then somewhere along the line, I was missing dancing. You know,
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
so
So
at
I mean,
that time, I
actually,
also became
you worked
pregnant.
also. Okay. You I mean you were working also. Huh. Huh.
At that time I also became pregnant. Then I said, okay, I cannot do continue a full-time job. Then I took a break from the job. then I just started, instead of sitting at home, let me start a school. That was in Coimbatore. That was the time I started my school. 88 June, I started my school in Coimbatore. And then from there was no looking back.
Okay. So you have learned with, I mean, you have always been learning with Kalanidhi Mami also. So when was that happened? So after marriage?
I started learning when when I just completed my degree. That was, I was 18 plus.
Oh, okay. Much
And
later.
actually, before that, we knew Mami because Mami's house was very close to my house. And Mami used to, for every Krishnagana Sabha Natikala conference, Mami used to come to the bus stop just opposite my house. And we used to go together.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Together, we used to have the canteen together and all that. So Mami was associated, and Mami kept telling, "Ninga Vaadiyar permission kudukama ninga varakudade."
Okay.
Vaadiyar permission eppo kudukraro appo vaango appdin. But we've been following Mami and all that. Then at some point, Master said, "Okay, you can go to Mami." We asked him, and Master said, "Okay, some good movie." He said, "Okay." And then that's when we joined. I was 18. My sister at 19, 20 and all that. We started. And then it was a journey. Then there was some breaks also when I was not in Chennai. But I always came back for holidays and I used to come. I used to visit Mami. Then after that, it has been a continuous journey with Mami.
Oh, okay. So, but I think there is definitely being with Dhananjayan sir, that's cool. And Kalanidhi Mami, her style of abhinaya. And so was there was there any kind of an unlearning thing which happened during those stages? Or did you consciously start realizing it earlier or much later as a teacher when you started doing it?
I won't say unlearning, but I would say enhancing.
Oh, great. Yes, teacher.
Yes, we were used to a very structured learning, and that was Kalakshetra's hallmark. We were used to a very, very structured style of learning. The hands were structured and everything was structured. That was a hallmark of Kalakshetra. And when we came to Mami, it was like a free-flowing river, Then it took some time for us to grasp how the Mami's mind was working, and then it was just putting both the styles together and emerging as a new style by itself. It was definitely enhancing my other style. And then this learning from Mami also seeped into my other numbers, not just padams. Also, I started working on the same principle for the varnams and kirtanams and everything. So it was not just Mami's padams or Mami padam and varnams were still the same. The whole learning process enhanced my repertoire.
Okay. So, but you were also performing regularly with master, or by then you had become an independent dancer that way? Because why I'm asking this is, so when you were doing master's dance pieces or dance items, how was it, you try to stick to what he used to say, or, probably was he able telling you, parvale, when certain things of Mami, something comes in, was it okay at that time?
No, initially when we were performing as Trio Sisters, when we were under master, like master was taking care of programs, doing Natvangam, teaching items. It was like separate entities.
Right.
After that, we started as individual performers, where we were on our own. So at that point, it started merging.
Okay, right. Correct.
Started merging, and master is a very open person. So long as you do it correctly, he's not going to say, "Why did you do it?"
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's those masters are like that, right?
No, general opinion is when you say you're doing padams, they say Kai epdi tonga potundu, no mudras. All that was not there because of strong training, master's training.
Correct.
Mami used to teach like that, but that was not how we should do. Mami never said, "Don't hold your hands properly, don't hold mudras properly." But Mami's teaching was more of kindling your, kind of saying, think more. It is think.
Right.
It was more like that. More than the number of items or numbers that you learned, it's more of the thinking process that she opened out. And Mami was also an extremely open person. And if you do anything other than what she has taught, but it was appropriate and relevant, she'll say, "Good, go ahead and do it." So we had two wonderful masters who are open minded and allowed us to grow in a way that suited our personality.
Right, right. Yes. You, Akka, you told that you started already your institute much earlier, like somewhere in 88. So teaching simultaneously started, right? So I was there a time where you got more into the teaching segment, and because and much, or at that time did your programs reduce, or you went more into teaching, or was that happening simultaneously that way? I mean, you could manage
Mostly
both.
it's happening simultaneously,
Hmm.
but the influx of dancers in the field
Hmm.
uh, brought the programs down. But when we were performing as Trio Sisters,
Ah.
uh, not many actually performers were there.
Hmm. Hmm.
And we were actually doing so many programs as Trio Sisters.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
then with the change in location,
Ah.
I moved to Coimbatore. I was in Bangalore for some time, then
Ah.
in Dubai for some time. With the change of location and my change of, we all grew up differently, Sujata. Like
Hmm.
I grew up like um, I thought differently and kind of I moved ahead differently, whereas my other sister moved differently. So there was no merging. We could not perform as Trio Sisters anymore because we
Hmm.
didn't have that kind of mindset. Each of us grew differently.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I opted to be a solo dancer,
Hmm.
which I
Okay.
thought had so much more freedom. When you start thinking more, you want that freedom to do what you want. Now, today, I cannot do in a group. If you say put a right leg forward and left leg, I cannot do it.
Right. Correct.
So,
Huh. Yes.
for me, so group dancing was no more an option.
Correct. Right. Right.
So that's when I started doing a solo
Huh.
dancer,
Huh.
and my journey still continues.
Of course, of course. I mean, over the time, I have seen at least it's so many, like nearing 2 decades that I have known you, and I've seen the way you're teaching each and every student, whoever comes to you. I remember the moment, those days early in the morning. I used to stay in your house, Akka, for classes. At that time, I remember one of these your student early mornings. I had just probably got up at around 7 o'clock, and I was having the tea there, and there one student runs to you. She's going for a class to teach, and she comes here, Akka, one doubt clear pananama irundhathu. So she comes and she asks her doubt, and she runs, and you are ever ready there to actually clear the doubt also and go. I mean, I have seen the way you have had that relationship with your students. So how have you done that, and what is it that makes you Shobhanaka that we all love so much, genuinely?
You know what? When actually, I should give it to my teachers, Dhananjans and Shantaka and Mata,
Hmm.
because when we actually literally grew up with them, they were more
Ah.
like parents, teachers for us.
Hmm.
And then any problem, we used to run to them. So this was the kind of atmosphere we grew up in. As a result, that has also reflected in my teaching. Definitely, they have a huge role to play. And with mommy, it was a different kind of relationship. I had a very close relationship with mommy. Any problem, I'll go, used to cry to her. Mommy's always told me that, hey, இது முதல்ல குடும்பத்தை பார்த்துக்கோங்க, நீ ஃபேமிலியை பார்த்துக்கோங்க, அப்புறம் டான்ஸ் எல்லாம் பண்ணலாம். She's always advised me like that. So she's been close to me in one way, and Master Nakka, I grew up with them
Right.
under their care and guidance. That one. Another thing I've always felt, I've seen great gurus and all that. With age, you have so much of reverence.
Huh.
But as a child, when you look at them, what impresses you? Their personality, not their credentials.
Right.
So a 6-year-old girl comes to me, a child comes to me. She's not bothered whether I'm a Padma Shri or a Padma Bhushan. It doesn't matter to her. She has to relate to you as a human being, as a person. Only then dance comes. For them, dance is mothers are sending them to class and they're coming. If they can relate to the teacher personally, that's when they're going to learn the art. Later on, as they grow up, they will find their own niche and they'll find their own levels with the teacher. But initially, as a child, what do they see? They see you as a person, not as an artist. So if you don't impress upon them as a person, you will never impress upon them as an artist. So for me, it was like more like friends, and people used to come to me. I mean, that's the person I am. So that's reflected in art.
Yes, 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 Akka.
I can't take credit for it. I have to give it to my teachers for it, because that's how we grew up and that's what we know.
Right, right. Like very true regarding, I think that is the beauty about any art form. Even it comes to school curriculum or anything, it's probably the teacher you go there. That's it. That's all the influence you get as a child. But the influence that you get with your dance teacher or your music teacher, that goes a long way. Like, even you'll end up having dance friends and music friends, and that bonding becomes more than your school friend or your college
Very
friend.
true, very true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And again, like you said, I think it is that teachers or that school which lets you do that. There might be school like you just go do the 1 hour class and come back, absolutely no connection. But people
No,
like,
also, there are a lot of schools where the
yes.
teachers are treated with reverence and they've kept like this and they do Bhakti and all that. We didn't grow up like that. We grew
Right.
up like Ashanaka, so approachable, so warm, and more like parents where we could talk to them and tell them our problems. That's how we grew, and that's what I know, and that's what I'm giving it to
Correct.
my next
Yes,
generation.
yes, Akka. Yes, absolutely. Uh, Now coming to I've seen so many of your choreographies. I mean, over the time, like you said, I have learned so many from you, and you have always been a very generous person. You just teach so. I mean, there is no this thing like either enakadan vekanam or I should not be giving this to another person. How you see your students, that's how you have always shared all whatever you have. In fact, much more than that is what I will say. Keeping that also in mind, another thing what I want to ask you is about all your productions. I happen to see your solo piece like Meera, I have seen. Then recently your group productions, which were Parties on the Kadagal, where luckily as my Kutti daughter also once was there in Shanmukhananda, played a small role in that. And recently the Ramayana Sudha. All these productions, I have watched it live also. The amount of the I don't know what makes you do it. What is it that gets you, like even the music, be it the script, everything you actually work. And I'm sure you have an entire set of students who love to help you too. Can you just share a little about those productions of yours, because I think you're your baby.
See, parties on the Kadegal, actually, that was triggered. My thoughts were triggered many years back when I used to listen to stories from my grandma.
Oh, okay.
Summertime was time when we used to go to Coimbatore. My
Hmm.
grandma used to tell stories,
uh,
all stories about a dog, a cat, and about their old times, and about how they used to be in the Zamindar family. All that we used to listen with rapt attention.
hmm.
Okay, but today, when I kept seeing the children of today, there is no storytelling. They're always stuck to their computer.
Hmm.
They're watching the computer, and there's no question of sitting together and talking and telling stories, relating incidents in your life. Then I said, should we not recreate it for the children? So it was on my mind for a long time. I kept thinking and thinking, and then it slowly formed. The idea slowly formed, and that's why the Partisano Kadegal came. And then fortunately, it was my 25th year of Tarangini
Ah,
school. I said, okay, this is the right time for me to execute this so that I could use lot more students for the 25th year production
right,
if I, in a theme like this.
right.
And it has been in my mind for a long time.
Hmm.
So that's how Parties on the Sadegal was born.
Hmm.
Of course, music. See, I can't tell you what triggered my music. I took three musicians and asked them to compose music. I told them this is my idea.
Ah.
The line I told them this
Hmm.
is what I want.
Hmm.
These are the birds, and this is how they. So those musicians came back with ideas,
Correct.
and then
Ah,
so
ah.
that's how the whole thing came.
Hmm.
But whereas Ramayana Sudha was completely a different ball game.
Mhm.
Shit asked me if we could do it.
Hmm.
Everything was ready already.
Okay. Okay.
The
Hmm.
music was ready. Everything was ready. He gave me the music on the hand and said, "Do it." And
Hmm.
I had just about 1.5 months to do a 2.5 hour choreography.
Okay, so both the choreography also would have been very different. Like your ideas, in that ideas you put a music, and here you have a ready-made
Different,
music
yeah.
in which you need to put your ideas. Which was
Yeah.
more challenging, teacher?
Challenging was definitely Dushyant Sridhar's Ramayana Sudha.
Okay, okay.
It was already there.
Ah,
I
ah,
couldn't go beyond that. And
correct.
in that, I had to be creative.
Mm, right, right,
Not
right.
that, okay, even the Mirdangam beats, I had
Ah,
to decipher from the music,
right.
write down,
Ah,
and then. So that
correct.
was more challenging for me. And
Mm.
of course, my student, very good student, musician Kripa
Ah,
Lakshmi also sings for me.
oh,
Both of us sat down to decipher the music, and because we had just 1.5 months. I don't know how I did it. Really, I don't think I can do it again. I
It was
don't
a
know what.
beautiful production, Akka. Beautiful production. It was so beautifully done. Each and everything that you took. Now that you're saying, that's when I'm realizing that it was a made already a set music. Otherwise, I thought it was your music, which actually gelled, absolutely gelled. Oh
No, it was
wow.
so much more difficult, but it was a challenge and I enjoyed it.
Ah.
And those 3 months, it's only Ramayanam in my head. And how many times Dushyant called me and he used to speak to me about Ramayana, what the whole scene he had. It was his idea of what the scenes
Ah.
should be like.
Ah.
And he kept telling about the stories from Itihasas, Puranas,
Ah.
everything.
Ah.
And I had a lot of lectures, and then I had to take in everything
Hmm.
and then incorporate it.
Hmm.
It was uh, it was Herculean task, but I don't know how I did it, Sujata. If I think back, I feel I cannot do it again.
Very. Okay. Okay.
Sometimes when you have to be pushed, no, to that,
Ah.
like,
Ah.
do it.
Right.
And 1.5 months, I finished the choreography for a 2.5 hour production, and we had 3 weeks to practice. But all my students, I took everyone was a professional dancer,
Ah.
and they could just immediately catch on to it. And
Ah.
my production looked beautiful because of the dances.
Right. And in fact, in this production, you actually used also other students, right? Unlike, yeah, huh.
All the other students I used. It was not just my students. My
Yeah.
students are only 3 of them. The
Ah,
rest of them were outside.
that's why it could be quick also, right? Like you
It was
mentioned.
good, and all of them were very, very professional and
Hmm.
skilled and very talented people.
Hmm.
So I told them they just understood and did it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was working with someone whom I had to teach everything, and then that would have been also difficult because the time was very limited. I chose the best.
Right. Okay. Yes. Akka, in your, I think again back to your students because I'm able to relate so much about that because you have created so many good students all over the world. And what I have noticed is like even if they have started their own institute or whatever, they are always there. They come back to you, or you're always there to give them the last finishing touch, or those kind. That's the way, of course, with your early talks you already mentioned that's been the rapport, right? And also now in this corona thing which suddenly strikes me is you are much beyond the corona concept of taking online classes. At least 4 5 6 years ago, say you are been regularly taking Skype classes, not more than 10 years.
12 years I've been
Oh,
doing.
see, so wonderful. I mean, you were always been a forward person. Like, we just thinking of starting here because I remember when I wanted to start something, you were the one whom I asked and you gave me all the guidance how to go about it. I'm sure online thing is not a new thing for you, but how are you treating this online classes? How does it go? Like, do you have group classes makes a better option, or you prefer a solo thing is a more better thing?
No, the thing is, there's no case of better or worse because we don't have a choice now.
No, now, yes, now definitely, but later was that was it happening? Did it work well? I mean, earlier also.
Earlier, it was only one-to-one classes I was doing.
Okay.
But today, with the corona, I started doing group classes. It is working well in many instances, and I really cannot complain because in corona, I'm doing more classes.
Right.
I'm reaching out to more people across the globe.
Right.
Of course, it's nothing like a one-to-one person class, but still, we have to make use of whatever is available. You
Mm.
can't keep complaining.
Mm.
Really, earlier years it was Gurukulam, but
Right.
does anybody live with the Guru now?
Mm.
So we have adapted to that.
Right.
Like us, we have to adapt to this. Of course, I'm hoping that it will change. Everything will change in 2021, and we can have live classes again. But my own classes will continue.
Yeah, right. I mean, this is actually given a good opening to many people also, like later on, like even for me on a personal level now, I can even think of being in two different places and actually taking a proper online class, even whether needed, if needed, and the children also will be comfortable about it in, okay, fine, even if I'm here for a while and then go somewhere else, we can still have this rapport. Very true.
Yeah,
I think that is one good point which has happened with the
yeah.
corona. Yes,
Definitely, we
Akka.
have to move with times. What else can
Yes,
you do?
true. Of course, of course. Yes, I have so many things to ask you, Akka, but I'm sure with this
Sure,
time,
mention.
yeah, I mean, your when it comes to all your Abhinaya pieces, also your productions, your Meera especially, I've loved the way how you've done those transitions from, everything. And over the years, how I have seen 14 to 17 years ago and how you are also now, the way you analyze each items, that is something, because I see very often nowadays still people, artists probably just take one song and they just randomly, just do it without understanding the essence, what it is, why it was at that period, how important. I think, I'm sure it's because of even Mami also was always like that. She wanted to break down, understand, go back to the sthai and then do. How do you would you like to share a little about that, so that I want others also to hear this and understand this is how one has to work on a piece?
Yeah, the thing is, with time, I've also learned when I teach a student, um, then sometimes I notice some things that I haven't done. So I
Ah.
incorporate.
Mm.
So over the years, how many students have given me inputs, which has made me realize and which has made me expand in my thinking process. So, see, for a good teacher to be good, you need good students.
True, true, true.
And every piece, the more you analyze it and the more you make it, what do you say, relatable,
Hmm.
more communicative you are. Each piece, when I take a piece, I break the piece into different bits.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And then I analyze each and every bit thoroughly.
Hmm.
And then I put it together and see what makes the flow.
Okay.
What will give the flow to the item? There's sometimes in some numbers where the Pallavi and Anupallavi are not even connected.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So in those numbers, how to give the connection?
Hmm. Hmm.
How to flow from the Pallavi to Anupallavi by using the music in between to use the connection to show the connection. Because not all songs are connected like that.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Okay, so even in Varnam, when I take a Varnam, between the first line and the second line, there may not be any connection.
Mm-hmm. Right.
First may be sad, second line may be angry. So how do you give the connection between the sad and the angry? So that is the connection I work at, and I think that's my forte. I keep looking at connection. I feel just random ideas here and there don't work.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
If I take a Varnam, it has to be one style throughout, like you're connecting and talking.
And there has to be some logical
When you're
bit.
talking to your friend,
Hmm.
you talk to your friend, okay?
Hmm.
In especially Nadane Adetodi, where she says Vedane Tuyarini.
Ah.
From Vedane, suddenly it jumps to Kallo our mana.
Hmm.
How do you make the connection?
Hmm.
When you're talking to your friend, when you're in distress, you also get upset.
Hmm.
So how I connected was, I'm just giving you an example.
Please,
That
yes.
after you finish the Vedane, you do a jati and all that, you come back to the Vedane, then you say, look at the way I'm suffering. Doesn't he have some compassion?
Right. Okay.
Then go to the angry one.
Hmm.
So he doesn't have any compassion, that is he's Kallu. His mother is like Kallu.
Hmm.
So that's a small thing. Like that, every line I try and connect it to the next line.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So that it gives a nice flow. This is how I analyze my lyrics and I do it. I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but I feel it's convincing me. I'm convinced that this is how it should be. I'm doing it.
No, absolutely. This is something all of us have to understand, because only then will the audience also be able to relate to what you're doing, and also you're giving justice to that particular song or what that poet wanted to actually, relate or narrate, or you wanted to share it out, right, Akka? Yes.
See, the poet is given the poetry.
Right.
There was no in between jatis and all that. The jatis come as a breaking thing. Completely break from the mood and go to the jati. So how can you connect? I've always wondered about Varnam, has been my big concern for many years. I used to think, why when you're doing a jati, there's a break in the mood. You're doing a sad thing and then you break. Then I used to talk to Mami also about. Mami said, that is the format of the Varnam. What can you do? So then how well can you use the existing format and give some kind of connection to the lines?
Right.
So I always go to the previous line. After I finish jati, I always go to the previous line. As I'm doing the aridhi, I get into the mood, go to the previous line, and then from the previous line, I go to the next line, giving the connection.
Correct.
That's the best I could do with the Varnam, and I think it's worked well for me.
Right, absolutely. Yes, Akka, and there's one more thing. I mean, I think like a last question for me for right now. Many more to go, but I think with time constraint, I would like you to give a brief to the next generation about not just as dancers but as artists. What all values or things that one needs to have while being a dancer or an artist, actually, for that matter. Can you just give us some insight?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because being an artist is completely being different by being a performer.
Right.
All performers don't become artists. Okay, performers are performing for the sake of performing, and the name and fame and all that. But whereas artists live the art, they have art in them. They have, if it's a dancer, they have dance in them. If there's a musician, there's a music in them. Everything in life they relate to the dance or music that they know. Okay, so for me, first thing about an artist is the higher you go, you have to be more humble. The humbler you have to be. Okay, nobody can claim that they know it fully. Everybody needs to learn from, even from a small child you can learn. So that kind of open mindedness is what I look for in artists. Artists should I mean, for me, artist is as skilled as any other corporate worker. If you're skilled in art, there's another person skilled in computer. Just because you're an artist, you can't demand that you need to be treated differently and you're better than them. No, you have chosen to take art as your profession and you're doing it. There is another person who's chosen, maybe a lecturer, to teach, and she's doing it. So how can you say you're better than others? Everybody is good in their own way. There's nothing to say I'm an artist, I'm great. No, art gives us a little more freedom for our self expressions, that's all. Whereas for a corporate person, it's not so. He's bound by so many rules, regulations, laws, and structures and all that. Whereas artist is little more free flowing and little more, that's all. I mean, we can be happy that passion has become our profession.
Also, don't you think as artists also we also have a responsibility for the society? We in fact have much more thing responsible. We need to be more responsible for the society through our dance, and this medium we can create a lot of difference. Don't you think so, Akka?
I definitely think you can create a lot of difference through your dancing and music. But for me, dancing should give you culture and higher values in life. That's what art is meant to do.
Right. I guess once you get your culture and your values, automatically your society becomes, it really becomes right, correct? So,
Yeah.
so
No,
it
but
is.
it's not so with many artists now. Art is not given them the culture, neither the higher thinking. It's always a rat race now, which is very sad to see. Um, rat race is there in every field. I'm not saying no, but it's become so very, it's very much an art field, and everybody's trying to be one up and trying to get ahead of the others. Is it all art meant to be? Sometimes I wonder, is it all? And then going behind awards and wanting this award, that award, do anything to get an award, do anything to get a program. That's not art for me.
Right.
For me, artist is someone who can express herself and her desires and the way that she thinks through her art. There are writers who write it express through their writing. There are a lot of people who express their art. Like that, art should be a medium to express yourself, and being an artist should give you more culture and more dignity. Instead of going down, you have to go up.
Right. Yes.
What are you talking about? To go, surrendering yourself to God, and you're talking to Rama, you're talking to Krishna, surrendering entirely to Him. What are you doing when you don't do that in real life? How has art helped you? This is the question that every artist should ask themselves and say, has the art really helped me to grow as a person? As a person, am I elevated because of doing this art form? If not, then art has lost its meaning.
Yes, Akka, I think not only for others, but for me, starting from myself itself, if I could little at least and try and follow whatever you have told, it will make so much of a difference, Akka. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm really praying that I'll be able to do more with you and you'll always be with me. And you're my best. I love you so much, Akka. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.
The pleasure was mine, and reliving all those moments of how I became an artist. It surprised me as much as it does you. If somebody had seen me when I was 7, nobody would have believed that I would be an artist now. But having said that, I have no regrets. There's no looking back, and I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And the pleasure was mine talking about it.
Yes,
Thanks, Sujata, for the
thank you.
opportunity. Thank you for Upasana. Thanks, Mr. and Mr. Nair, for all this.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you
Namaskar.
so much. Namaskaram, Akka. Thank you so much.